Okay. Theme fact. Frabby. Let's just get into it. Hope you fellas had a lovely Thanksgiving and are copping all the banger plugins and whatnot from the lovely Black Friday discounts. Alright, this is a real good one already, I can tell, just from the title. Won't spoil anything. Gotta warm it up with a bit of throat singing. Okay, I scrolled back too far. Nobody has submitted anything since last feedback stream. A little worried for you guys, but it's okay. Can't force anything here. Theme Fribby. Y'all better flood on in here. Okay, everything's up. Lovely. So first we have Woo Cannon from Raincaster, which suspiciously alludes to Woo Boost, right? But whatever. Words are words. We've been grinding. Already laying down some very palatable textures. Watch some of the harshness in that high end. Can we hear everything? Yeah. So right from the beginning, I like the cool textures and the atmospheres. I feel like, I mean, I'm that type of guy. I'm the type of guy I always want a sense of a forward direction, you know, just really make it feel like it's moving forward with little effects, little transitions, whatever. And this part's cool. Same thing with the kind of forward movement. The kind of like kick, I'm not a fan of the kick. It almost sounds like low quality. It sounds like MP3 type kick. I don't know. You hear what I mean? It's like distorted but not, and I think the sidechain is a bit too deep too. I'm not gonna be too picky about the distortion on like the 808 sub bass. Cool textures, cool beat, cool melody. Although I think like your kind of last sub note, because you have it burn, dun, burn, but then you have burn and dun, dun. I feel like a dun with the burn and dun, dun would kind of fit better in the root note rather than just going burn, dun, dun, you know, and make for just a more interesting progression overall. Adding in some more funky layers. Snare sounding quite excessively loud. Switching up pretty crazy, pretty quick on it. Here's Joe. So, I definitely think the transitions could use work. You know, there is something to say about like subverting the expectations, but at the same time, I think, I mean, I repeat myself, but you really gotta sell the drop. You know, you have to have a whole moment of tension to make it that much more satisfying. And yeah, watch some kind of, yeah, stuff like the snares kind of coming through pretty hot. Some high end here and there is hurting the ears a bit. sound design good, call response here. Those are pretty good. For the transition, I just have more. See, like, even though there's stuff going on, it still didn't sound like fully dense, you know. And I feel like I mean, if I inspect it, yes, there's the stuff going on. I feel like you probably want it to get denser, you know, because it feels like the risers are just barely speaking up, and the snare, the drums are kind of like disproportionately loud, you know, which gives it kind of like feels like there's a lot of empty space in it. But you know, I would maybe just have more kind of mid-low end riser, more loud riser action, and watch the loudness on your drums. You know, the whole, you can also make the whole thing more dynamic, you know, versus just having like same kind of volume. You can have it really get louder towards the end. You could have it filter open, filter out, filter in, tease the bass, you know. Like tease the riff a bit. I'm liking this drop though. I'm a fan of filter movement. I feel like as this drop kind of goes on, I feel like a bit of that main kind of riff and flow is lost. I'm not a big fan of distorted sub bass, at least on this type of track. That's me. Another thing is I feel like you almost have too many fills. Thought I would never say it, you know, but it feels like you're just like, alright, a little riff. 2 fills already, another fill. You know, when I feel like, I don't know, it's cool to have fills, but, you know, just be very mindful of how you use them. Make sure it doesn't take away from the flow of kind of the main riff, you know, or if it is, make sure it really improves upon it, sauces it up. And I feel like your variations might be a bit dramatic too, especially with how much fill actually have going on. When at times I just want to hear some straight fat riffiness. What was that from? Oh, it's from that. It's from Mario 64. You see, and I feel like especially as the drop goes on, you could see it's just like the fills are just taking up a lot of the potential for more flow, rhythm, musicality. In my opinion, at least. But yeah, you have nice riffs and nice flows in there, just make sure they shine more. Fills are cool, but don't make them too cool. Can't be too cool. And then a little outro, of course. Pretty cool track. Definitely polish up the build a bit and make sure the drop stays a bit clearer. At least for me. Like, complexity is cool, but I think it has its places. Complexity is best utilized to serve simplicity, right? If you want to get all poetic about it. And also, if you're here, drop a fat, and I'm talking fat, like obese like on the stream so more homies can see it in their YouTube feeds. Here's Joe. Here's Joe. Joe Break. Little Joe. Hi, Joe. He's so happy to be on stream. He chirps for joy. Oh boy. His favorite day, Feedback Friday. Alright. Shout out Joe. But let's just get back into it with 97 beatdown. No problem. Pretty gnarly. I like this cover. I'm just feeling a bit too much space in this beat. I feel like the BPM could almost be pushed up a bit. I don't know. Another thing is it's feeling pretty dense in the mid department. Especially watch the mids in the stereo field. I feel like I would like a little something to kind of keep the rhythmic drive a bit, and all these silences, all these fills. Pretty nice variations on it though. Definitely watch how the mids stack up. Make sure you have a clean, deep sub. Also, this intro. This intro could definitely do more with it. I mean, it's obviously not super technical, but I want it to be. You know, like at the very least, maybe like take out the drums. You know, right now it's just like drop but filtered out, which honestly does the job, but I think you could do it a bit better. You know, classic riser sounds, whatever stuff, taking out drums, more buildy drums, whatever. But yeah, it's a pretty fat beat. I would like the drive to be kept up in some of the silence places. You know, silence is good sometimes, but I feel like in some places it could be better served by other things. But sometimes silence is good. I don't know. Fills equals like after your main phrase, like at the end of every like 4 or 8 bars, it's just kind of like an afterthought sound just to kind of bring it in, like a drum fill. It's like if he had these main riffs, right, and then he put sounds in between them, they would be fills. Needs more context, I guess. Call and response, whatever. I'm tired of call and response. It's a buzzword at this point. But, you know, maybe some type of fill action could help with that, or maybe you can work some other sounds to have more of a relationship rather than just like, all right, fat riff with one sound, fat riff with another sound. You know what I'm saying? Hope that made sense. Of course, give the young sapien a follow. Give all the homies a follow. Give them all the follows you can afford. Alright, starting off with the mildly excessive volume automation. I always say I'm not a huge fan of the volume automation a lot of the times, because I think a lot of times filter automation is just more dynamic. His vocal is sounding a bit harsh in some places. Might just be a bit like over kind of multi-banded. Watch the mastering on this one. Sounding quite compressed. Pretty good build. Very harsh, high. Snare still punching through. Yeah. The drums aren't sitting as bad as they could be, but definitely the bass is getting a bit splashed. It could maybe come through a bit harder, like that snare. Yes, really did that. Yeah, quite an gnarly drop. I like the sounds. I'm liking the drums and the flows and variations and stuff. Really get the master right, and I'll be a happy little guy. Right now, I'm pleased, little guy. I'm content, but not fans of oak compression. And yeah, build is pretty good. Really, my main complaint is just lots of compression on the jaunt. Honestly, no mastering is often better than over compressed, squashy distortion mastering. In fact, some artists like Mr. Bill comes to mind. All he does on mastering is limit. Just limits the track. Joe, I got Joe. He wants to hang out. Okay. Up next, Waves. Tilly is gassing up in the comments. Great. Laying down some vibes for the intro. Joe's giving me many licks and small nibbles. Thank you, Joe. Say thanks, Joe, in chat. Cool intro. Some nice forward movement with the riser. Joe has been giving me too many nibbles lately. I'm scared. It's gonna bite too much off. Coming in pretty fat. One thing though, Joe is nibbling too much. It almost sounds like it might be too much stacking kind of in the mid-range. I don't know. Don't quote me on that, but I think something that would help this transition here is like you have a lot of cool stuff in the arrangement, but I feel like the kind of mix, and effects is really underrated in terms of nailing transitions, because I would have liked to hear it kind of open up into like much fullness here. Like from this build up kind of squashes down, that opens up in that fullness. Maybe sometimes people like automate stereo width. Sometimes people kind of like band pass it before the drop. Just cool stuff like that. I really want to feel like it's opening up into fullness when the drop hits. Other thing is like in the mix, it almost feels like there's not a lot of breathing room. I'm not sure what that could be. Like I said, it might be the mids, but I'm not super confident on this one. Drum sounding very nice, and I like this arrangement. Maybe a tiny bit of multiband compression would make the mix sound crisper on my eardrums. How many basses can you layer at once? All of them. There are no rules. Bring in the switchy. Switch up. Type beat. Nice smooth transition. To the 4 on the floor. I'm taking it. Somebody said, "Hello, Bunting, enable the translator, please." And I thought he was joking, but I think it means the captions. I think this should work. Quite a big build. Well executed. Same kind of thing with this drop. I want to feel like it opens up more in the drop. Very bouncing. Lovely. Nice little outro. Nice. Yeah, quite a cool track. Got going on. I just feel like, I don't know if it's like the mix down or the master. It might be like the high end isn't very full. I don't know. You know, just something, it sounds like a bit like claustrophobic in a sense. I feel like it might be the high end. Not a ton of high end going on. But the other thing is, like I said, how it opens up into the drops, you know? Yeah. Beyond that, very clean track. Good drops, good transitions, good arrangement. Creative at that. That was gas, I agree. Incomplete tune up next. Of course, give the waves a follow. And if you're here with open ears and minds, quick shout out to myself. If you're copying the Black Friday deals, don't forget I just updated my site for the Black Friday. I put 40% off all these packs. Plenty of free packs on here as well if you're into free packs. There's lots of cool sounds. I like my own packs. I use my own packs a lot, so if you want to sound like me, get my packs, okay? No. It's cool samples, and you get to support me, and there's discounts, so be sure to check that out. buntingmusic.com. Look in the description. What amount? I mean, when I talk about like scooping mids, I usually mean around like 200 hertz. And that's where it sounds muddy. And typically when you scoop mids are what makes it sound muddy. So we would do the opposite of that. Anyway, I've been thinking about just like putting out another free pack because I just like have gotten so much better at making sounds or whatever that I'm like, yeah, my packs suck. I could do better. Damn. Foolish. Samples are fire, trust. Go cop them while they're on the Black Friday 40% off sale. And support the boy. The Bunting boy. This is really nice track. Joe likes it. Very subwoofer bumping track. And River Bilbo, you better. Find anything you can get, sell it, give it to me directly. It's only fair. I feel like you could have brought it out into a bit more of a break rather than just like straight build it from the arrangement. Especially since you're just kind of like drop after drop. I feel like this part is a bit coming off a bit minimally, which isn't bad. I just feel like you can add some fills to kind of spice up the flow and arrangement. Really like the direction your sound is taking. I like how you keep things a lot simpler, straight to the point. You know, you have solid riffs, bass lines, and it just goes off. My baby popping off. That's what I'm saying, Bazona baby. Jesus Christ, Joe. Don't... See, the problem with Joe is he just be pissing. No respect to anyone. Not even his creator. I actually gave birth to him. Yeah. Yeah, and I like the transition to the drop. It sounds fat. And maybe you can have it develop just a bit more during this, and like I said, kind of break out a bit more rather than just building off, you know? Break out, then build, or whatever. You know what I'm saying, you know what I mean. You get me. I like what's here. I very much like what's here. And of course, you can have more of an outro too, if you're into that. Yeah, give the meta a meta follow. And the other thing is that this arrangement is pretty sparse here, you know, just kind of white noise riser with drop vocal. It's not bad, but I think you'd be a bit more creative with it, you know, effects, filtering, whatever. There's other ways to build tension. You know, I don't even have to tell you how to build tension. Think about it. Like, what do you hear in a track that feels tense? What can you make to feel tense? You can literally do anything. You could just have a ton of stuff going on, then it feels tense. That easy. Plug Talk, Silly Tunes debut. Okay. And a bit of harshness stacking up in the high end, especially just like on this main kind of sampled riff and stuff. Definitely watch high end. Fat. Turned around quite nicely. I really like the main simple weird wubbiness. Some of the fills really hit, some of them don't. I like the yoi yoi, but some of the other fills I'm like, man. And at times they just feel kind of like wedged into the arrangement. Like, all right, cool thing, you know. High ends again. And the other thing is like this drop goes in, right? The intro and arranging up here. I'm not feeling that as much. I'll be honest. And mix wise, like this bass coming in super loud compared to your kind of riffy sample melody thing. Also, Al, fix that logic. Glad you've been liking the content. This is another kind of build. Make sure you probably want a dedicated sub. Make sure it's mono. Not sure I'm a fan of this kind of top layer on it. You bring in the fat wub, then you're like, all right, throw on Nexus preset number 3. You said that's what this beat needs. No, I'm messing. But you know me. I feel like these breaks come off a bit weird and a bit too often. You know, I want them to really have a purpose in the arrangement, not just be like, whatever. Yeah, watch the harshness. I like the sample, main sampler, riff, whatever here to sound a bit less band passy, or like you have more just to fill it up, and or just slap as hard as this business would. You know, whether that's, you know, melodically, you know, melodically it's aight, rhythmically it's aight. I think if you really want it to slap, you got to make it a lot more rhythmically interesting, you know, because or whatever kind of groove that was, I think could be played around with more to extract the slappage out. You understand? Solid stuff from Tilly. Give the Tilly boy a follow. He's not added the variation he wants in the second drop. But it will do. It better do. Fat impacts. Giving Joe a pet. Pretty basic intro, but gets the job done, lays down a nice rhythm, dramatic hits, a bit of subtle melodies. And it's building up. Oh my goodness, it's building up. Where's it gonna go? Ooh. Really nice use. This is from the Bunting Waves pack. Don't tell him. It's a secret. Very fat. Quick break into the build. Yo. Yeah, I'm liking the flow and the sounds on this. Very stompy track. I feel like at some parts, just to give it a bit too like bam, 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 bam. You know, maybe we'd like some flow intermittently to just prevent it from just being bam, 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 bam. You know, like you could hear the second drop variations. You know the deal. Look, cool variation idea. Add a harmonic to the main subby bass. The water sounds, it was like some type of vocodery bass, or like bass sound I put through vocoder, and then I put a delay on it and automated the time on it, so it pitched around and was bubbly. Yeah. Pretty stompy track. I feel like there's some more room for some stuff like at the high end, you know, like some gritty texture stuff coming from your basses, or like siren layers, just something. And I feel like off this main kind of subby kind of bass, you can just get some more interesting timbres out of it here or there, maybe for some variation. Maybe it's the main jaunt. You know, there's room for that. And of course, like the intros and the breaks, they get the job done, but I like to go above and beyond. You know, I like to really have some nice musical content in there, and or tease the kind of drops, you know, really make sure you're building up a huge amount of tension, make the drop as satisfying as possible. The other thing is, maybe you can have this drop. You could probably have this drop going longer. It's pretty short considering just like, oh, straight into another build, into another drop. You know, maybe you could longer drop, longer break build or whatever. You know, just so it doesn't sound so like, I don't know, like throwaway-ish. You know, just like, all right, drop another. You know, not throwaway. It just sounds kind of like it's a mix, you know, rather than track of its own. You know, I don't know. I don't. Even though it's kind of the name of the game, just like get the drops out, get the builds out. I want to give love and care to every last bit to the maximum. Of course, give Lucas Wyatt a follow. Of course, fellas, join the Discord, hang out in the Discord. Looking forward to seeing you in there. Axel. Gnarly track, good flows. Good stuff. Whoa. So first thing I'm noticing already is, sounds like your sub is hitting like an octave too high. And the other thing is, it's sounding like you're not quite hitting the root note. So you're hitting ban, ban, when I think what you were, the root note would be ban, 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 ban. You know what I'm saying? While bam could be cool as maybe like accent note, but I don't know. A lot of times I think you want to play around that root tonic note. You know, maybe you could hit a bam, 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 bam. Still, yeah, I like how it goes lower, but I still feel like it ought to not be so high and MIDI, because it's not bussing on the sub. Poser core. You know, especially like in this first section, you really hear how it's stacking up the mids, causing some distortion too. You know, and like I said, the root note, so you can hit a bit of bam, 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 but I would go for a bit of bam, bam, bam. You can go like bam, 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 bam. You know, if you're gonna play around on that kind of tense, not quite root note, at least in my opinion, that's what it sounds like is being implied. I would at least go to that. You know, it's all about the tension resolve type of beats here. The other thing is, I would maybe like the mix to emphasize a bit of that main type of flow. You know, you have that nice wubby flow going on, but I feel like the sub is kind of overpowering it in the mix, as well as the kind of like cool plucky background elements are a bit too far up that they're kind of like messing with the flow a bit. I like them, but I just really want to hear that main flow super clear. Yeah, and of course you can have more intro, more build, break, build, second drop, blah 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 blah, outro. You know, I like what you got there. Really want, just watch the sub notes. Really want that mix to be focused, to put the emphasis on the fatty, wubby flows. Sure, that'll get the Bunting champ. Welcome, Whiskey. Sante, Sant, Effects, Neo. Very experimental outro. Love to see him. Little Joe. I got my little Joe. Of course. Thank you, Linus, for your submission. I like this sound design, like this bass line, like this pad. Not less work to the build. It's okay. This build isn't bad by any means. Yeah, watch out stacking up in the mid-range. And make sure the sub is dedicated and deep and mono. Whoa. Harsh, harsh, ouch, ouch. It's hurting Joe's ears. So, Joe, cover your little rat ears. There we go. Wait, gotta show the stream. Stream will think it's cute. There we go. Cover his little ears. He doesn't like it. But yeah, watch the high end in that. Let's actually play it. Other thing is, I felt like it transitioned a bit quick, with not a whole lot in the arrangement. From there to there, I guess kind of back to there too. And it really sounds like the sub. Yeah. Sub definitely, it's too high of an octave, at least right here. Also quite loud, you know. You want to leave a lot more room for all those beautiful melodics you have going on. Yeah, just make sure you do that so they're a lot more crisp and clear. A lot more room for them to breathe. And of course, little outro with the silence. Snare isn't bad, not the biggest fan of the kick, but biggest thing is the mix down. You know, make sure the sub isn't too loud. Make sure I would rather have a sub that's too quiet, honestly, than this kind of sub being all consuming with all those beautiful melodics, right? And I like your main kind of riff you have going on. That's quite nice. I watched the arrangement though. Felt like it kind of didn't go on very long, then it kind of switched it up pretty quickly. The other thing is, if you do want to have this kind of like arrangement, you know, switching things up, I prefer it to not just be kind of like, all right, musical part, then just like noises or whatever, you know, which is cool, but I really want it to have like sense of direction in it and or musicality, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, really watch all the harshness. Make sure your tracks aren't clipping. It sounds like this lower note bend. It sounds like it's a half step too low. We can make it out of key on this one little hit. You hear that lower note right there. And yeah, pads are cool, but I always want a little bit of direction moving forward. Effects, sounds, arrangements, all that stuff. Chop it out. Cool track. Might be my favorite from you thus far, but still, I think that mix down. How do I reduce harshness? Well, make sure there isn't clipping. I feel like you end up clipping a lot of times in your tracks. And the other thing is, make sure not too much is stacking up in the high end, because yeah, just scoop high end on the EQs. Yes. Solid stuff from Griffin NPC. Give him a follow. Hello? Hello? Joe, come hang out. Okay. There is the Discord link. Anyone can post a song and get reviewed, although I asked that only one song per fella. Also Nugget, who you finally got your name changed. Big win for Nugget. Also submit the track. I don't care how bad you think it is. I will roast it. And Faceman, yo Bunting, read this out loud. I am so fucking stupid. ID? I'm a little confused as to what you meant by that. Very cool sounds coming through. I know that much. That's the extent of my knowledge. Very interesting snare, liking the drums, liking the flow. I'd maybe like kind of tune the harmonic on that wub to a bit closer to like kind of like a fifth or an octave, so it sounds a bit more consonant with the arrangement. And I'll maybe push it a bit further back in the mix, or use it a bit more as a fill. I don't know. I want to hear those main squelchy, flowy bits. I just feel like in the mix sometimes there's kind of multiple instruments per se competing for the spotlight, when I just want to hear the most interesting flowing musical bits and the others be kind of add to that, or be a bit more set back mix. Little outro. Yeah, and cool little intro with cool sounds, with cool little outro. I don't know, it slaps. Yeah. Cool vocoder. Of course, give the face man a follow. See, I don't know, I feel like I could say more, but what do I have to say? Slaps. It's wet. Wish you at King Cedar seeing Detox. Oh boy. On my way right now. I'll be there. Say Detox. Tell everyone, watch Bunting. You want to know how to make Detox unit sounds, watch Bunting. And why am I big? I don't want to do that. The other thing is, yeah, just mix wise, I think I want a bit more focused in some parts, so it's not you really want to be clear like where you want the focus in the arrangement, you know? Because at times sounds like the basses are competing, and some basses like here aren't coming out quite as crisp for being kind of the main characters in a sense. And maybe, you know, since you want to have these multiple elements interacting, maybe cut some bits to silence, you know, treat them more like fills rather than just layering them. I don't know, I'm weird about that. A lot of times either want it to be like a very complementary layer or like a distinct fill, jump from the arrangement. You feel. Joe. Joe's hanging out. Spoon is up on the shelf, hanging out though. He feels me. Bassman Beats feels me. Sonica 33. Nice chords. Sounded a bit clippy to me. Kick 2. Snare's kind of interesting. Beat sounding BPM. Beat sounded a bit straight to me. I feel like it could use a bit of high-end action and or a bit more just kind of syncopation, groove, and rhythms. Maybe you could just switch the BPM up just a bit too. Some harshness on this vocal. My great guitar sample is lovely. That is facts. So another thing is so once I get my stuff out, um so I like your pitch bendy sub work. I would maybe at least allude it a bit more to the tonic, so that which would be about C. And the other thing is, I would maybe keep it a bit closer to either like the octave or the kind of fifth type of harmonic, so they sound a bit more in key with all those beautiful melodics you have. Yeah, vocals not sounding perfectly in key. So like retune the vocal like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 4 steps lower, and it should be more in key. And yeah. Goes hard. So yeah, stuff to keep note of. I like your arrangement on it. I feel like the arrangement could travel a bit more. Maybe you could take a bit longer breaks with some more musical development rather than just like, all right, quick, drop out of the beat, keep the instrumental, beat back, you know what I mean? And maybe provide some more context for like where and when the sub comes in and give it a bit more impact. You don't have to do full on like build up, crazy drop, whoa stuff, but a bit of tension has never hurt anyone, unless you're like a really like fragile rope. It's if they get pulled on, they might break. In that case, why you rope in the first place? Kind of weird, if you ask me. Oh yeah, but did I drop the link? Okay, I dropped 2 Faceman Beats links, so definitely didn't miss him. But here is Sonica33. Give him a follow. Hello? Eve is here, but she won't tell me. She likes to hide. And thank you guys for the love on the keys. I like them. More piano stuff soon. Whole song is made for one microwave door sample. Love to see it. Cool granularly sounding chords. Watch some harshness. This break is very groovy and clean. The filtering messing with has a good sense of movement with it. See, it would have been hard if it just went like pause, bow. Snare's coming off a bit too loud, makes it a bit harsh in context. Really good progressions here. Really nice bits of sound design. Very nice kind of mirror-y sounds. Got a bit sparse at this part of the arrangement. Automations. Really good tension building through the rhythm. I feel like I would like the bass to come off a bit louder and up front, maybe a bit more stereo too, when the drop finally kicks in for the fatness. Very cool track. Really good arrangement and sound design. Never mind the fact that it's all from one microwave door. I like Joe. Refreshing, truly. I agree. Could use just a bit more distinction in the arrangement here and there. And like I said, watch some of the harshness, some parts. Cool little outro here. Feel like it got a bit weird with the outro, a bit quick. Kind of harsh again. Watch the high end, fellas. Please. Other thing is like this main kind of like neuro-y, squishy, Cohen soundy bass could maybe just have a bit more kind of high-end business on it, you know, like add some overdrive to the high end, kind of compress it. See, it sounds more like that here. It just doesn't sound as crispy. The other thing is, I really like it to make like the riffs more distinct. Not the riff, but like you have your main kind of band, dan. You know, I'd maybe like to see that become more of a main character in the arrangement rather than kind of like pushed to the back at times, if that makes sense. And also you can maybe switch up your sound palette or expand it a bit more rather than just like the gnarly sound. Good bit of stuff in there as fills, but I could desire more. I believe you. I know you're sweating, you're catching your breath after designing one insane sound in bass from the microwave door. But if you made all those cool sounds, you can make more. What did you get? You got a frog. What, is that an ashtray?
No, it holds rice.
It's for
I
rice.
stole it from Korean barbecue.
You just stole. Okay, you just banned.
It's my natural instinct as a woman.
That's your gatherer instinct as a woman to steal. You said. And of course, calm response. I had to say it. You know, you just know me. Less mids, more highs. Alright, now that we push all the buzzwords aside, you can follow Rickard Gren, and we can move on to Sacro. What are you doing? Pecho.
Did you call it back?
I'm about to. I didn't want to call it before the stream because then I'd be like, oh, come in right now.
I could have taken him.
I didn't know if you wanted to.
You're an idiot.
Didn't think you would, bro. Who's up there? Okay. You wanna call him?
This is your...
Okay, so you're hating on me and you're not even gonna do it. Okay, intro. Pretty spooky. Cool bass line coming in. Oh. Like how it started, the spooky atmosphere quickly developed into that riff. Interesting kind of 4 on the floor, but it feels like kind of like a rushed groove to it. And it's slapping. Cool washout transition. You don't have to use riser, you can use a little reverb automation. Bypass filter flow. Another cool transition effect. Going into the build. Really liking this. Oh, not the color base creeping in. Don't do it to him. You blew it. You blew it. No. Really solid stuff. I just would have liked it to slap a bit harder when the drop came in. I think kick needs to hit a bit fatter, more side chainy. Yeah, drums definitely be a bit fatter. Sub might be pushing that limiter a bit too hard. So yeah, I would really like the drums to slap harder on this job. And like I said, sub might be messing with that a bit, like pushing a limiter a bit too hard. But also not just drums in the sub, but also like I think the sub might be interfering with that space and kind of presence you can get from the main kind of color bases. Yeah, watch the sub. Also some weird kind of layers in there. Like I said earlier with like Faceman, I like stuff when it's like very mindful layer and or like a fill. I think something like that could be better suited for like a fill, you know, cutting out stuff in the arrangement. So yeah, let the mix breathe. Sub is good, but all good things in moderation. So watch a bit of reverb. Can't really tell if it's becoming too overwhelming at some points or if it's just kind of clippy limitiness of the mix. But watch the mix down, master down, and I'll be a pretty happy guy because it's a really solid track. I like it. And I like how you develop like the melodic motif into its own thing in the beginning with creative transitions, nice arrangement. I like it. It's all very intentional, and each part of the song serves its purpose to each other. Pet him. Yay. Pet him. No, nice. Okay. Eva hates Joe. Joe likes Eva, though. Of course, Sakura, thank you for the submission. How are you gonna call that? Run this back. Chop it. I feel like it comes in a bit hot. Could at least have a little bit of a intro riser atmosphere. Right out the whole beat laid down just for the mix-in purpose. Just for mix-in purposes. I feel like that vocal just kind of felt like wedged into the arrangement, kind of the last second. It's like, alright, build up, throw in vocal. Maybe you could have like filtered it in coming from a bit sooner. I like that sub work with that. Pretty cool. I'm really liking this. Arrangement gets pretty sparse pretty quickly here, I feel. It's kind of sparse out into not much. Could keep a little bit more going, I feel. I'm liking this. Basses are slapping, arrangement slapping, drum slapping. Yeah, Meta's actually suing. I don't really see why you felt the need to like fade out the other stuff. You know, I could have served the build up just fine. Would it maybe like this drop to have more variations from the last bit, you know, switch up sound design, switch up flows, more call and response, whatever. And also, generally in these builds, I think it could kind of brighten up more towards the end to help build like that dynamic tension, make it sound a bit more in key-ish with the kind of brightness of the basses and business going on here. Especially here, it sounds kind of like quieter. Yeah. Drops are cool, need more variation. You know the biz, and this part came off a bit sparse. But you know. I'm liking it. Of course, give Lamp a follow. Everyone is on this color-based wave these days. Oh boy. Boy, oh boy. New submitter though. Fluid Space. Also, quick reminder that my site, I mentioned this, but I can't say it enough. Black Friday business going down, 40% off. All the things. Get all the things. Plenty of cool samples and effects and racks and presets for everything you could possibly need. And it all directly supports me. Get it while it's discounted. buntingmusic.com. It's in the description. It's everywhere. It's behind you. Do not look behind you though. Not right now. Let's just pay attention to Fluid Space for right now. Of course, Lamp the boy. Thank you for the submission.
Big man. Flex up.
Here's the link.
Big man.
Here's the link.
Flex up. Catch out. Big man.
Laying down.
Flex up.
Spooky beat with a spooky rap acapella.
Catch out.
Subtle build. Free drop.
Big man. Flex up. Catch out. Flex up. Big man.
Drums to be hitting a bit louder.
Big man. Flex up. Catch out. Big man.
Maybe doesn't need sidechain. Maybe could use it. I don't know. Let's try it.
Flex up. Catch out. Big man.
Also, right when the drop comes in,
Big man. Big man.
I mean, maybe the drums could help with this too, but you can help the bass get a bit
Flex up. Catch out. Big man.
bigger.
Flex up. Catch out. Big man. Flex up. Catch out.
Cool progression and riff you have going on. Cool sound design too. Cool use of silence there. That one bass came off much louder in the mix. Make sure all your stuff is nice and wide too. Make sure sub is dedicated. Some bass could maybe use a bit more OTT kind of business, at least subtly perhaps. Little pre-drop. But maybe just have a slight more kind of tension right before it. Make sure you have a dedicated sub. That would help all these basses kind of hit a bit closer to each other, volume-wise and timbre-wise. Lots of cool sounds in creative ways. I like how you're keeping this drop going, but bringing the melodics back in. Big bands. Yeah, a little outro. Cool track. Lots of interesting sounds using interesting ways. Not really a whole lot of criticism. I like what I heard. You put it out there. I listened to it. And I liked it. It's really, sometimes it is that simple. They won't tell you that, but sometimes it is. And yeah, I should like to check out One Per Dude, however. Next, John. Looking great. Very pink of you. He's extremely new to producing, but he would love to hear what I think.
Racist.
I thought he said racist. I was about to... quite astonished. What? Hello? You're storming out. So the kind of rhythm of this kind of caught me a bit off guard. And the key of your elements aren't quite sounding aligned with each other. Not quite in the same key, I don't think. Yeah. They're not too terribly off in key, but what catches me off guard is like how the drum beat comes in. I expected, you know, like the you know, like the to be kind of the one, but you kind of put it off guard a bit. And the other thing is, I feel like the drum beat itself kind of came in at a weird bar. You know, make sure it's hitting those solid 4 8-bar intervals, whatever.
Can't call him.
Why not?
My phone is
Okay. So make sure hitting on somewhat predictable bar counts, and drums could be a bit louder, slappier, and sounds like your arrangement is kept stacking up in the mids a bit. You know, have stuff in higher octaves, stuff in lower octaves, like this. This is sitting a bit better in the mix. Subtle little build, switching it up the arrangement, little riser, could have a little riser a bit sooner. Yeah, watch the key on some stuff. Make sure your bass is hitting that C sharp, because that would be the tonic or the root note implied by your melodies. And yeah, drums could definitely be up on the slappage department. Lots of cool sounds here though, which I do admire. I like how you got the layers working together. I feel like your calls should be a bit more solid though. Like this, you can't go wrong with the sustained bass response, but the calls feel kind of floppy at points. You know, just lay down side like wah wah wah, you know, rather than like wah 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 wah. If you catch my drift. And you, of course, you don't have to do straight wah wah wah. But if the call isn't very solid, then the response will have nobody. The subtitles should be active. I thought I turned them on. See, I'm not sure if they'll turn on during the live stream, but I know subtitles will be on after the stream. So again, watch the keys on some of your arrangement, and yeah, make sure your calls are really solid. And the drums are loud and busting. That's what it's all about. Yeah. Cool track. Solid first submission. We just love to hear it. And good arrangement on it too. You know, you have your intros, you have your builds, drops, build, breaks, builds, drops, outros. You check every box. You saw every box on there. You went down the list. You did it one by one. And for that, I admire you. But yeah, mix down, call and response, my main quips, but you're a smart guy. You can do anything you put your mind to. That's how it is. Of course, give John Luce a follow. All right, I did a thing. Oh my gosh. Nugget did a thing, guys. Lots of lovely gentlemen. Upgraded to Pro Unlimited. I don't know if you needed to do all that. You probably could have just deleted an older track. But sure, if you think SoundCloud deserves your money, go ahead, hand it over. You could have also just dropped it in Discord and or Google Drive or some. Make a new account, you know. Don't get caught up on deceiving love. After the show, I ain't looking for no average show. Like, I feel like you have some cool flows going on with the bars or whatever. But I feel like the chopping of them kind of messes with the flow a bit too much at times. You know, you can chop them, but if you really want to mess with the flow, do it just a little, you know, in passing. But you can also chop them rhythmically. Solid. Don't get caught up on deceiving love. Cool little transition here. Little beat. After the show. Don't get caught up on deceiving looks. Saying this one for your hedgehog. I'm interested. Yeah, just really watch the flow on the chopping. I feel like that's a lot of musicality there. Bit of a break into a subtle build. Yeah, needs a lot more fatness from these basses. They just sound so subdued. More OTT, more loudness. Trying to push back, even if it's mad heavy. If it ain't kicking the goosebumps, it ain't really love. Just to make you aware, so I'll buckle up and let them know I'm mad ready. Always trying to push back, even if it's mad heavy. If it ain't kicking the goosebumps. Other thing is, I hear your kick. It sounds like super long subby kick. You know, which a lot of time I feel like I like short kicks for this type of style. Or you like layer short kick with the sub, or like kind of straight 808. I don't know, just be mindful of it. Long story short, I want more punch out of that main transient of the kick. Other thing is, yeah. Get that main bass crisp and clear. And probably could have had this drop a bit longer too. You know, you took it a whole lot of different places. Then when the drop finally hit, I feel like all that build up, all that whatever preparation, you can ride it out longer. It is Friday. And I said this on some other tracks, but you know, like if you in breaks, you don't have to just like break it down into straight washiness. You know, you could keep some musicality going a bit more up front. Same thing as here. Need those main basses a lot fatter, louder, crisper. Other thing is, not a whole lot of tension, not a whole lot of build here. You know, I couldn't really. I just felt like it was a bit quick. Like, oh, one drop, breaking it down. Oh, not really a whole lot of preparation. All right, another big drop. You know, I gotta put it like that so you see how ridiculous. How could you be so foolish? Like, mixed down as it is, like the vocals coming off louder than the basses. So no. Nobody's saying that fat vocal. Damn, bro, that vocal. Unless they're opera fans. Just chopping it up a bit more rhythmically here. This chop is not very rhythmic, however, even though it's a bit syncopated, so you can argue it's a bit rhythmic. Yeah. And a little outro. Could fade out a bit sooner. Not too Yeah. Could have a bit more like variation, but overall, like really get the mix sound on lock. You could not be putting so much love and affection into your basses only for them to be neglected by the mix down. Of course, give Frisian a follow. Yeah, cool writing, cool arrangement. Get the mix down. Up next, Whiskey, Bark Whip 3.mp3. Laying down the boing from the beginning. Laying down some nice grooves here. Very subtle pre-drop here. Cool flow. Feel like that kick could have just a bit more punch kind of translate to it. Really cool sound design and flow here. Mixed down quite clean. I love that like vocally peaky shifting. Wow, wow. It's like jaw harp. It's like. See what I mean? Think about it. Nice layers coming in here for a bit of variation. Oh, the Neuros, not the Neuros. Yeah, just really good flows on this track. With the drums on point. Flows on point, mix on point, sound design, all pointed. Then a little break here, but you keep it the groove a bit. Ooh, still laying down the sub though. Good build up here. I feel like, I'm not sure what, but a bit more could be done towards the end of this. Sound kind of, one of those basses came off a bit disproportionately loud, maybe a bit mid-dense too. Groovy for show, big mice selector, bad man tune. Yeah. Feel like that bass coming off a hair too loud in the mix. Yeah, good variation here, good flow. Could just have a bit longer outro for the poor DJs rushing to mix out their track. Yeah, really cool track. Not a whole lot to complain about. And you're right, it's a slapper. not finished. Gravity 11.18.21. Dubstep. This will get played out. Probably true. Our intro, ride your action. Coming in with spooky vocal, spooky riff too. A little too spooky. Yeah, watch the transition. Because it was kind of unclear, but both here, like when this stuff first came in, I think make sure the drums are slapping. It helps with that transition to punch, right? And then especially when like the main drop comes in after this kind of vocally bit. You know, here like did it start here? Start here? You know, just take out the drums for a second, little pre-drop silence, whatever. Help sell it. Riff isn't super clear here either, I don't think. Oh. Maybe for a part of the drop, you can like bring the main kind of bass down an octave. Could be cool, maybe. Got a little break here. I feel like this break could have a bit more musical and or rhythmic content going on. Just feels very breaky. Interesting sound design here. I feel like the variations kind of interrupt the flow a bit too much at times. I like all those different harmonics it's hitting, makes it very interesting.
That was a pretty fun dude.
Pretty fun, dude. Cool outro. Yeah, I would create a bit more interest in this break. I think maybe rhythmically would help a lot with it, but also melodically, you know, little arps, little whatevers, blah 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 blah. Cool track. Yeah, harmonics. True words were never spoken. Were ever never spoken? Which one? Which one is real? Of course, give Headcanon a follow. And let's see if this link works, because it didn't come up with a picture. The embed. Okay, look. It's here. No worries. Start at 4 mins. Sorry about the pick. It's okay. I love the pick, personally. I don't speak for all of us, but I would hope the flock loves it. Booty. It took me a minute to figure out what booty meant. It's a bootleg, guys. Haha. Little intro. Fat sub drop with a nice beat here. Okay. It's not about heaviness. It's not about heavy.
Cool, calm, and collected. 3 dots on your hand, I don't think you got the message. And you too caught up on the past and the future lost the present. Yeah, slow yourself down, presence is a present. Yeah, yeah, I need money pronto.
I feel like I like a bit more low end, less mid of the kick, but then again, I'm very picky about kicks.
The front lawn looking something like a car show. Yeah.
That horny saw came off a bit too loud in the mix, I think.
Only thing in the way is myself. Yeah. Today I got paid to make waves, I'm paid in myself. Yeah. Say the things I'm saying that I feel, I'm afraid of myself.
I like this snare. It's got this cool like formantiness to it.
Only thing in the way is myself.
Coffiness even.
I got paid to make waves, I'm paid in myself. Yeah. Say the things I'm saying that I feel, I'm afraid of myself. Yeah. That's why I can't lay with a bay, I'm in the way of myself. Gotta lay claim to myself. Cool, calm, and collected.
Or you can like filter it in and out, volume wise.
You too caught up on the past and the future lost the present. Yeah. Slow yourself down, presence is a present. Yeah. Only thing in the way is
Zach F. If you're having trouble verifying your phone number, just DM it to me.
Only thing in the way is myself.
Here's my Discord username.
I'm in the way of myself. Gotta lay claim to myself. Yeah, I need money pronto. Yeah. I need the whole thing. I ain't
This kind of plucky bass, coming off a bit mid-heavy at times. Yeah, I think a little bit of low pass on the wow, you know. Yeah, you did a bit of filtering there.
Wrong shit while we out here trying to act savage. I'm a sucker for love and it's scary. Tell myself the next one I let in is the one that I'll
I like
marry.
this track.
Yeah, say the things I'm saying that I feel, I'm afraid of myself. Yeah, that's why I can't lay with a bay, I'm in the way of myself. Gotta lay claim to myself. Only thing in the way is myself. Yeah, and today I got paid to make waves, I'm paid in myself. Yeah, say the things I'm saying that I feel, I'm afraid of myself. Yeah, that's why I can't lay with a bay.
The vibration of the chair was kind of inky with the song for a bit.
Cool, calm, and collected. Yeah.
Cool, calm, and collected. Outro. Cool stuff.
Got the message. And you too caught up on the past and the future lost the present.
I don't know. Nothing to really quip about here. It vibes throughout. It goes different places. It has the vibes. It has the slappage. You know, if you're really crazy, you can bring it into a bit harder section, more sound design, riff heavy. You know, a drop of sorts even. Without the vocal, maybe. Use the vocals as fills. But I like where it goes as is, and it does a good job. Fills, whatever, can make it finessed. But, I don't know. Just throwing stuff out there. I think it's in a good place as is. Up next, new submitter, Immune Response. Aliens version 1, because we don't have enough bass music songs about aliens. Digging the techno bagpipe. It is a viber. I like this kind of rhythmic, like that creeping in, and then you're laying down a nice subgroove with it too. Drums could be bumping a bit harder though. subtle little effect with a bit of a silent pre-drop. Cool sounds, cool riffs. I would maybe like the riff to repeat a bit more, but I kind of like how you bring your variations with it, then you bring that kind of back towards the end of the phrase, you know. Maybe keep the riff in mind just a hair more for the phrase, but even as is, it kind of goes a lot of places, but I like it. Went to the break pretty quickly. Could maybe have the drop longer, but I think this is fine as well. So yeah. Minimal with the transition. Cool use of the auto pan. I feel like you might want to take the auto pan off for some of the reverb tails. It just sounded a bit weird to me. I don't know. I think you could get more fullness out of a lot of your basses, and I guess drums too, probably. Really good groove on this, very bobbable. Cool outro. I like how it kind of ended on that tense note. Gave it an interesting character right at the end. Squeaky windshield wiper. Yeah, I dug that as well. Completely vibing. He admitted it. I admit it, guys. I'm vibing. Me too. Yeah, I really like that. Really good vibe, groove on it. And again, not a whole lot to complain about. That's my new go-to phrase when I'm too drained to give any more feedback. Joe's been sucking the life out of me. No cap. Get you with Joe. Quick tuna, keep or nah. Right, because of this, like, Instagram or like Twitter engagement bait caption, I'm not going to tell you whether to keep it or not. I'll give you feedback though. I like the bass and the flow and the sound design. Drums definitely could be much more bussing. Don't think the samples are super solid, and they could just be a lot louder, maybe with a bit of sound design. I mean, not sound design, just sidechain. What am I saying? And this vocals coming off a bit weird key-wise with the main bass. Yeah. Just make sure whatever vocal you're having. See, sound like it's hitting some weird harmony and stuff too. But basically you want to make sure it sounds like it wants to resolve to whatever subnote you have going. In this case sounds like D. Really get those drums. Feel like you can be a bit less harsh, not harsh, just dramatic with the filtering. Just a bit less of the filtering here to help that kind of drop. Come in. Lots of cool sounds. Feel like you can get the basses like a hair more kind of like OTT'd and or saturated. You know, just get that high end real sparkling. Okay. But yeah, I'm digging the track. Cool sounds, cool flow. And of course, Trip X audio. Trip X audio. How are you supposed to say X and audio at the same time? Better rethink. Yeah, give him a follow. New submitter. Lovely new submitters tonight. With heaters. Per usual. We got the Audius type beat. Audius.co. For Spander X. We got the lyrics. Mood stirring. Prepare to get stirred. Prepare to get all rustled up. These key chord type of hits coming off very mid-dense. Scoop mids always. Check out Audius. I like what you have going here, but I think you need a bit more counter melodic action. You know, like for example, on this progression, what are you squeaking for? But I feel like you can have like, you know, a melody contrasting these chords, and or you know, bass line. You know, that's plenty of room to add a lot more color to the arrangement here. Also, when you're working with samples and stuff, a lot of times I would EQ them. You know, always watch out for mids, but also low ends. Yeah, similar thing, like I said before, bassline melody can do a lot to make this track go more places. Tell more. No. The track's coming off quite a bit louder than the others. Like this kind of breakdown's gone a bit long, and I just feel like overall there could be more variation, progression. Like I previously said, just like more bass line, more melody could help with that interest as well. time for you to post, feel free to drop it in the Discord. Links are everywhere. Yeah, cool stuff from SpanderX. Drop him a follow on the Audios if you're into that. Phew, bless me. I have not. This is true. Might have to turn it up. No prob. Don't. Are you this? Are you Binaki? One of these guys? Okay. Elemento. Why am I big? Make it stop. I don't know how I do that all the time. I'm liking these little textures, atmospheres with a very nice chord progression. Some nice RP melody coming into. Very vibey. Cool transition sound. Some nice subs bunting. Sub's probably a bit too loud in the mix. Clap's coming off a bit too loud. Kick not quite loud enough. Disproportionately to the rest. Little transition here. Ooh, I like this. Nice. Clean. Yes, one song per Feedback Friday. Peace out, SpanderX. Thanks for hanging around. Specific track. Cool build here. Clap gets a bit never good. So this sound is just not super distinct. Like you said, didn't sound great in the car. Something like this, unless you really like, I don't know, the sound itself can be more or less distinct, just easier to mix. But maybe you can just add a bit more like kind of multi-bandiness to this. I don't know. Less mid, more high ends. I think it's easier to hear. This track is quite cool. Lots of really cool, interesting sounds. And it's very clean transitions and vibes throughout, which I like to hear. Okay, I know. Face man isn't beat knock. Guys, don't put. I think face man is Binaki. This is a really vibey track, lots of cool, interesting sounds. I like this. Mr. Toriko, I have discussed this. It's not letting me do it on the stream, but it will do it on the VOD. Apologize. Nice outro here. Yeah, but the biggest thing in like a car mix is going to be like how much sub there is and mids. Basically like subs and mids are going to ruin the car mix. You know, and just make sure there's plenty of high end and stereo isn't going too crazy. And also, it's always nice to have just like tiny bit amount multi-band compression and just saturation on the whole thing. Just help things come through crisper. Everyone fell for Faceman's classic trick. the old 1-2. You're everyone. You're all of them. Of course, give Binaki a follow. If you like what you heard. If it was me, I would give him a follow because I liked it. But I mean, like, as just match your mix to a reference or whatever, you know? Get a track you like how it hits in your car, or generally speaking, and look at the spectrum of it, and then match your spectrum, and then you should be pretty well off. Jesus. Of course, thank you for the submission. Some heavy beats. Some fatty weird webs here. Nice beat. And mix down sounding pretty clean. Board. I would just, for maybe a bit more contrast and extend the track a bit. You can probably take out the beats at some points for contrast, for whatever, for tension. And I like your variations in the rhythm. I would keep the riff a bit more straightforward at times, you know, maybe a bit less varied, just so it's really, the groove is really locked in and certain and verified. It's got the verification check. That's the type of groove I need. All right, Joe. Yeah, Joe agrees. See? He gave it a little peep. All right. Okay. The other thing is, I feel like since you kind of build up you built up that kind of motif, I felt like I'd like to hear that a bit more fulfilled or played off of for this main drop, you know? You know what I mean? Kind of play around it, but I like it a bit more. You can just extend it further, extend the drop, you know, develop it a bit more. You know, you can make a longer track out of it for sure. Because I like what I hear. I want to hear more of it. And of course, give Vitrico a follow. Joe. Okay, up next, Nugget, a fresh submitter. So feeble and naive. Has no idea the type of brutal roast he's about to receive. There it is. Let's go. Nice vibes from the beginning. Feel like it gets a bit too sparse here. A bit too filtered. Or nugget. Very much vibes on this track. I'll tell you that much. I want to hear more of that lovely musical content. You know, and filtering is a cool effect, but I feel like in passing, you know, if you wanted to transition. I'm liking this vocal on it. I like how he's switching up the vocal a bit for this transition to keep it different places. Definitely could use more variation. Something I always say, but people never do it, is, you know, more bass lines, more melodies, because that's one of the best ways to add color, you know. It's to outline different chords, outline different notes of those chords in the melodies, you know, and bass vice versa, you know. And there's definitely room for just more melodics. All you really have is this vocal and pads with some flows and cool sounds coming from the basses. This very cool vibey track, cool art on it. I like this sample too. More of whatever this sample is. Vibes. And don't worry, to the gentleman DMing me, I did not forget about you. Start at 6 minutes. Alright, that's great, but what track? That's the question. Yeah, actually, what track? Eslo, what track am I reviewing of yours? You linked me to your entire profile. Of course, thank you for the submission. Sticky Rice, slow, let me know, totality. 6 minutes. like to feel like I know where this begins and ends. I'm not sure if this is just from it's in a mix or like what. But this on its own, it's pretty nice. Cool sound design. Bass is coming off fat. Drums could definitely be a bit more. Like, I'm feeling the side chain, but like that kick especially needs to come up. Snare could come up a bit too. I like these samples on top of it. You kind of have a call and response between the two samples. Any vibes for Lay Down Tonight. Viva Joe. I'm guessing I'm going to review the whole business. Another cool sampley sounding thing here. Sidechain sounding a bit weird. I'm not sure. They may have leftover sidechain from a different part. Sounds like I'm hearing some clipping kind of stacking up. Turn it into kind of like a break of sorts. Again with the drums. Drums definitely. Generally speaking. See, I was getting the vibe that this was like a kind of like a break to transition to a bigger drop. This might just be the drop itself, but with the drums being so quiet, it's hard to tell. Not just quiet, they need more transient, especially on the kick. Could have a bit. Kind of sound, this chord and pad's pretty vibey. Stacking up a bit in the high end though. It's a mix, guys, it's a mix. This lead here is coming off a bit loud. Fortunate that's in the mix. Yeah. Really watch the sidechain. It sounds like, well, for one, I could barely hear the kick, so the sidechain just sounds like it's existing without a kick. But also, it sounds like at some points it's just like ducking with no kick even being there. You know, you might have like leftovers from another section or something. How to keep these more sound effecty sounds, much more put to the back of the mix.
While still in the dream.
Got some harshness. Yeah. It's not just the kick, I just think the sidechain is probably too deep in general. like how the arrangement's stacked up. Even though this new lead sounds kind of just like noisy, a bit too distorted, maybe. Nice little outro here. Yeah, cool stuff in this little mix. Get those drums on lock though. That would do great service to the rest of your lovely arrangement. I'll do Zeta real quick before I forget about our lovely direct messaging fellow. Diverge, new submitter, Zeta F. I'm digging the branding here. Cool picks, cool eye stuff. Nice nature sounds, cool pads here. I'm really liking this. Subtle reverse vocal. Not so subtle, came in kind of quick, I think. Subs coming off a bit loud in the mix. Drums are hitting nicely though, stuff's hitting pretty nicely. Nice fill out. Build here. Lots of cool sounds, good riffs here. I feel like snare could just come up a bit hotter. Nice break here, keeping that beat steady though. Good fills. Solid. Nice break here. I feel like the break went on a bit long, you know, because this break was about as long as the drop itself, but then you break down to further break. I don't know.
Free your mind.
They're pretty solid drop.
And the rest will follow.
bass line. Yeah, a cool, quite clean track. Quite clean track. Give Zach, also known as Zeta F, a follow. I don't know. Maybe I could argue for more variation on the second drop, but I feel like it vibes enough to the point that having that kind of verse chorus action is nice. One thing I might do is kind of like add more upfront kind of vocally melodies, not vocals, but you know, like singing melodies, for lack of a better word, rather than having a lot of those melodic elements come off as a bit decorative, you know. Not necessarily decorative, but you know what I mean, just something really upfront telling a story. Joe. Another track with some nature sounds. Everybody's feeling the nature type vibes. Ah, yes, the transient. Just give me some business already. That's what I'm thinking. I'm not a fan of this really filtered transient. Bit too much transient on that kick. I like this bass line. All those melodics are quite syncopated. Syncopation on it's kind of cool, but I'd like to feel maybe just a bit clearer rhythmic accents. Cool arrangement on this track. I like the rhythmic interest here, and I like how it keeps developing up. Lots of cool glitchy percussion, glitchy that serve its purpose. So maybe have little bits of silence or fill type things, breaks in the arrangement for some lovely contrast and interest. Little break here. Cheating. You guys popping off? Okay. Can you call the guys? Don't tell me anything. I never hear anything. I like this part. Cheers vibes, but a lot more focus on the glitchy percussiveness, which is fat, if you ask me. I feel like what might help this section is maybe a bit more flow coming from the sub. Boom, boom, boom. Some nice patty melodies coming out, which is underrated. I'd like a bit more development on this section here. Felt like it went on pretty long without a ton more being said musically. But yeah, really polished track, very nice, very beautiful, glitchy swag. All those things and more from Merrick. Give Merrick a follow. Here we have General Purpose, Room Demo 1 with the very pixely but visually appealing artwork. Let's edit. Just introduce the stuff you have in the drop, just a bit subtly, tease it. Filter it. Everybody is participating in some vibes tonight. Seems cool RP melody. I like the offbeat snare with the vocal too. Very nice groove. Yo. Very much a vibe. Sax solo going crazy. Feel like I'll dial down the wet and the reverb just a hair, or delay effects, whatever. Pretty good arrangement on it, you know, like how it built up to the beat drop and then pulled out. Then adding some new rhythm to it, some tension. Some more spooky minor melodies. Drum and bassy beat. Big tease. Feel like the sub isn't always present as it could be. feel like it's a bunch of tension. It's not, hasn't quite released though, you know what I mean? But it kind of makes for its own cool flavor. Bring it out. Cool outro sounds with the reverb chords. Yeah, this section felt tense. It was very cool, but felt like some resolve could be musically interesting at some point. And yeah, I really like this section and how it builds up there. Just a cool track. I feel like also like I don't have anything exactly in mind, but I think you can put in some more stuff just in the kind of mid ranges. Your mix, just arrangement overall is very low endy, high endy. You know, not much happening in the middle. Which I always say scoop the mids, but that's not what I mean. You know what I mean? And could maybe have things developing a bit quicker here, as well as having a moment of release. You know, you get me. Cool stuff. Give general purpose a follow. Our last but certainly not least submitter, I would just say cutting off after this track. Thanks guys. Okay, Slug by Miue, Whip Edition. More vibes. Cool subtle transitions. Cool atmospheric layers. The bass creeping in. Ooh. That ringing. The rhythmic groove building. Ooh. To the 4 on the floor. Really cool texture. Low tonality coming through from this main sound. The classic drum and bassy foghorny type beat. It's very foghorny coming through. The bass is in heat. Peace out, nature out the window. Good night. This hat's definitely coming a bit harsh though. High end. Oh, I like that little fill transition. Definitely watch the hats. Peace out. Loves. Outro too. You know, I think it's quite similar to this. Not the same secretly. But you know, you could definitely add another drop, outro, blah 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 blah. Watch the harshness on the hat. That's my only real quippy quip. I feel like it might be cool to get a bit of like fluttery sub and or like bassy sound design movement to match along with these main flutters, at least at some point in the arrangement. Could be cool. Could also be cool to have more like pluckiness with it. Just more sound design going on in that low end besides the Reese, at least for some points, for contrast, whatever. Cool stuff, man. Always like the textures and the arrangement, especially on your stuff. Very cool stuff from everyone. Thank you guys for tuning in. Quick reminder before you tune out. Once again, Black Friday sale is going to be on for a bit. But yeah, 40% off all these packs and stuff. Support me, get cool samples for your tracks, and you can also check out on my website my music, and you can get private lessons from me. And yeah, great way to support me. Patreon too for video presets, project files, more, blah blah blah. If you want to support me, that's where you do it. buntingmusic.com, and be sure to hang out in the Discord too. Just have a good time, man. That's what matters. Okay, yeah, I'll catch you next week. Every Friday, pretty much the same time, so don't you dare ask. Feedback? Don't come in chat. It's looking dumb. Say feedback. Don't say it.
Vouch. True.
Vouch.
True.
Eva, no. You are looking dumb. You are looking dumb.
What?
Exactly.
Sorry, I'm too busy winning at Apex.
Yeah, right. Eva loses at Apex. But yeah, this whole stream will be up in the playlist in the description. The live streams playlist, and yeah, that's all I have to say. Love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Bye 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 bye. Peace out. Vibes.